Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to share how I made these spicy mushroom noodles. If you're a fan of mushrooms, then you'll definitely enjoy this recipe. I always tend to have leftover mushrooms in the fridge, so I just thought to add it into noodles today. The ingredients you're going to need is mushrooms, garlic, spring onions, egg, olive oil, chili flakes, and also the noodles. The noodles I'm using are the Shin Ramyun noodles. They're like my go-to noodles that I always have. So the first thing to do is to chop up your spring onions. I'm using some for garnish and some that I'm actually going to cook as well with the garlic. And then I also chopped up 2 to 3 garlic cloves as well. And then I followed that by washing and slicing up my mushrooms like so. And then for the next part, in a hot non-stick pan, I added in around 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And then I followed that by adding in the chopped spring onions and the garlic as well. Once the spring onions and the garlic has been cooking for around a minute on a medium to high heat, I then added in the mushrooms. I only end up using around 5 to 6 pieces of mushrooms, simply because that's all I had left in the fridge. But you can use more or less depending on how you want to make your dish. And then on a medium to low heat, I cooked the mushrooms until they started to look a little bit like this. And then I followed that by adding in 1.5 teaspoons of chili flakes. You don't need to use this much, but you can definitely use some mixed herbs or even a little bit of cayenne and Cajun seasoning if you want as well. And then when they look like this, they're done after a couple of minutes. And then the next part is to simply boil your noodles. I actually just boil the noodles for like 1 to 2 minutes until they become soft. So when they start becoming soft like this, I'll boil them for like another minute and then remove some of the water from the pan and then follow that by adding in the seasonings. I never have the exact measurements of how much water I have when I do cook noodles. I just kind of add as much as I need and then I'll just drain some out eventually. When it does come to making noodles though, I do make them depending on what I'm craving. So sometimes I'll have like noodles with no soup or noodles that are really soupy. I guess it just depends on your mood, but for these noodles I wanted them to be kind of soupy, so that's how I made them. And then once I've added in the seasoning packets, I simply let it cook on a medium to high heat for another minute. And then the final part of the dish is to basically make the egg. I'm using the same pan which I used to make the mushrooms. I'm only cooking the egg on one side since it's a sunny side up egg, and I end up adding some chili flakes on it as well. And the way I cook them is to simply add in some hot water, which I'm doing now, and then I cover it with a lid, which I'm just using the tawa which we make roti on. And then with the lid covering it for 10 to 20 seconds, it will start steaming the egg. I ended up turning the heat to high and adding in a bit more water, covering it with a lid, and then it actually steamed it properly where it ends up looking like this. And the yolk is also runny as well, so that's a bonus. I finished off the dish by garnishing on some spring onions, and that is literally the dish complete. So as mentioned before, this is how to make a very quick and easy mushroom noodles. Yeah, mushroom noodles, we'll call it that. Depending on your appetite, this can serve 1, but I ended up sharing it with my uncle, so it does serve 2. I do have 10 packets left of my Shin Ramyun noodles, and I realised that I haven't made chicken with these noodles, so I'm definitely going to make something with chicken as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys stay hydrated because it's going to be really hot this week, especially in the UK. I'm currently melting. I had to turn off the fan so I can do the voiceover. But yeah, I hope you guys stay safe and I'll see you in my next video.